What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. I can't tell you why Darvin Ham really believes that Russell Westbrook is going to play better next year, or even believes that Russell Westbrook is going to be a better player next year. If you look at Sports Illustrated where he's talking about, specifically that right there, it just makes you wonder, because it's like, all right, Darvin Ham is a rookie head coach for the Lakers going into his first gig and with a team like this. Definitely a lot of pressure there, definitely a lot of everything. But whatever he has or whatever he's thinking, he thinks it's going to work with Russell Westbrook. And I'm not going to say it's not. I mean, because Darvin Ham definitely should feel confident in himself, but I'm here to tell him it's going to be very tough if they decide to bring Russell Westbrook back next year, which it looks like that's going to happen. The Kyrie thing is looking a little bit more far-fetched rather than actually a reality at this point, only because so much has going into it. The Nets want picks back, and now it might have to be a third team involved, like a team like the Spurs, and a sign and trade, and it's just so much different reports going out there about Kyrie and the possibility of him coming to LA. It just seems like it's harder to get it done rather than easier, especially looking at everything that's unfolded at this point, which is pretty much nothing except a bunch of speculation. And even though you're hearing reports from Woj and other analysts and everything like that, it's just all speculation. Nothing's really coming of it. And like I said, I don't think Darvin Ham is wrong for speaking of Russell Westbrook playing better next year, because from the way he sees it, it's almost as if this Kyrie thing is a myth rather than actually reality. So if that's the case, then they got to rock with Russell Westbrook. And I'm not sure LeBron or anybody's in tune with Russell Westbrook like that, but from what I see, I'll say this much: if Russell Westbrook comes back next season, he's going to have to play a lot better. Only for his own issues, he's going to have to play a lot better for his own self, because first of all, even after next season, after his $47 million contract is, after he's done worked it out or, played it in full, he's got to look at, if the Lakers don't want him back, where else can he go? Or what other team is going to want him? Or at least a team is going to want him that's possibly has a chance to win. Because Russell Westbrook at this point in his career, he needs to try to win a championship. There's really nothing else for him to do. I mean, he's just putting up stats and numbers and all this other stuff with the triple doubles if he goes on a team like he was last year or year before last with the Wizards or something like that. But that's just a waste of time for his, career. He really needs to solidify that with at least making it to another finals or, something of that nature. But honestly, I mean, really everything else is just pretty much a waste of time for Russ, at this point. And like I said, I don't know what Darvin Ham sees in Russell Westbrook that will make him play better next year. But apparently, Darvin Ham is looking at it like, with his coaching style, with his tactics of the way he might be able to, press players' buttons in a certain way to get the best out of them. Maybe he feels that's something that can help Russell Westbrook next season, or that's something that Russell Westbrook needs to, better his, his gameplay. He needs somebody on. He needs somebody to push him more. He needs somebody to, push him a little bit harder than what Frank Vogel did, because Frank Vogel was more a defensive-minded coach in that way, with that type of mindset. But Russell Westbrook's not a defensive-minded player, and Frank Vogel's really not like a vocal guy like that. You know what I'm saying? He's more like speak when he has to. He probably says the right things in the locker room, but he doesn't get felt by players the way Darvin Ham would. Darvin Ham, his voice is more like a preacher or somebody like that. When he speaks, people really listen. He has that respect by guys. You see what I'm saying? And Frank Vogel did too, because he did win a championship with the Lakers in the bubble. He did. And, Indiana was good back in the day with Paul George. But, Darvin Ham, he's more of that voice type, a coach that really has a voice that gets felt. Everybody feels his presence. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes I will say, having a coach like that can bring the best out of you. It can make a lot of players play better. And actually, 99% of the time, when you have a coach that has a voice like that, it makes players play harder for that coach, because that coach is instilling something inside of those players that give them confidence and belief that they can do it, that they can win. And, and a prime example of that would be, their next door neighbor, the Clippers, because Tyronn Lue with the Clippers, I mean, we saw what he did last year. He got the best out of players that nobody even knew who they were. Amir Coffey, Terrence Mann, he's making a name for himself a little bit, Luke Kennard, players like that, good solid role players, but nobody with a real huge name like that. He made them, be a winning team last year, almost made the playoffs, almost got the 6th seed. Almost stole the 6th seed from the Nuggets, because they had beat the Nuggets one time in the season. It was tied 1-1, I think, the season series, because they came back and beat the Nuggets when they were down 25 points one game and embarrassed them by coming back and beat them without Kawhi or PG. And they won a lot of games like that last year, because Tyronn Lue has that voice, and it's something about the way he coaches and the freedom and the chemistry and the environment or something like that makes players play better for him than they would a lot of other coaches in the NBA. I mean, look at Reggie Jackson, the way he played last year on the Clippers. He played better for the Clippers than I ever seen him play his whole career. So it's like I said, certain coaches can do that. So maybe that's what Darvin Ham is saying in regards to Russell Westbrook, saying that he's going to have a better year, knowing that last year wasn't his best outing, definitely doesn't make him look like the top 75 player that he is. But maybe Darvin Ham might know something that we don't. And to be honest with you, if you're a Lakers fan out there, you got to hope that he does, because honestly, we never know about this Kyrie Irving trade thing. It doesn't look like it's possibly going to go through. And if it doesn't go through, that means you're stuck with Russell Westbrook, and you got to look at it like this. If he's all you got, that's who you got to rock with. That's who you got to kind of, put your confidence in. And I know me personally, I can't put my confidence in Russell Westbrook. I don't want to speak for nobody else, but I'm pretty sure a lot of other NBA fans or Lakers fans definitely don't have no confidence in Russell Westbrook, simply because he's a turnover machine. And I definitely understand that. But at the same time, if he's all you got, he's all you got. And there's been reports about LeBron having awkward moments or something like that. Russell Westbrook kind of staying spaced out a little bit apart from him or something like that, like he knows something that Russ doesn't know, and or the fact that he wants Kyrie there rather than Russ. So I mean, there definitely might be some tension or something like that there, or some confusion or something like that there. Who knows? Hopefully that doesn't turn anything going forward if Russ has to stay a part of the team, but I mean, it's very likely. But hopefully everything pans out for the Lakers, in their eyes, or at least in LeBron's eyes, he wants Kyrie. I don't think a lot of people in the organization want Kyrie to be there, but I mean, LeBron kind of runs the team, so you know how that goes. It's going to go his way more than anybody else's, and they're going to have to take it from there and see what they can do. But if Russ does come back next year, hopefully Darvin Ham is right. Hopefully Russ will have a better season. Hopefully he'll be more engaged, more everything than what he was this past season, because this is a bad look for a top 75 player, what he just put out, and it's all about updating your resume. And if that's the last part of his resume the Lakers are going to see, the Lakers fans are going to see, it's a bust. It's a bust. There's no other way to put it. So we'll see if Russ ends up staying on the Lakers for one. And if he does, we'll see what type of year he has next year. And we'll see if it actually helps the Lakers rather than hurt them, just like it did this past season. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.